On the 11th day of Christmas, Top gave to me Crimson by TrueOmega, sang by Waterbound Molten, Gear by Knobboy Molten, Core by Janucha, Twisted Titanium by Hybrid, Infernal Abyss by G-Boy Molten, Mercury by Hybrid, Teak Manifestation by Pleosim, Stasis by Reagan the Flawless by Finn, and Incipient by Jenkins GD.
If I took your hand tonight, know you're all that I want this life.
I don't know what to tell y'all, bro. I'm simply just better than y'all niggas.
I beat Crimson Planet! It's quick. A swing and a miss. No, a swing and a home run! I beat Crimson Planet!
What?
Oh my god! Like, what? Dude! Dude! I'm doing it! Okay, I just wanted to give some thoughts and opinions on this level, because in my opinion, I think I'm like the one with like genuinely the worst opinions on this level. I think this level's really good. I obviously like crashed out a lot, but it's because of what I found hard and not hard compared to other people. That's kind of what made me pissed off. So if I were to order this level in terms of difficulty, it would be obviously the last part as the easiest after Truster's ship. Like, dying past Truster's ship shouldn't really be a thing. Like, honestly, you probably won't die here. I didn't, so I'd assume no one else would, right? Because it's not like too difficult. The easiest part, and by far as well in my... Then the second easiest part is definitely Jacob's part, which is the main thing that separates my opinion from the rest. I think Jacob's part is genuinely the second easiest part of the entire level. I was scared because, you know, I thought that it would be the hardest part because everyone's been saying how much of a difficult part this is, you know? But I died to every part in the first half more than I did to Jacob at all. I think in total I only had around 10 or so deaths at Jacob's part. I usually passed it every single attempt. And if I were to die to Jacob, I would die to the 2 spider clicks, which I find are the hardest part of Jacob, which is supposedly the hardest part. I think it's the second easiest part. I never had an issue with it. Third easiest part is definitely, it's End Levels part right before Jacob. The main issue is that this base gameplay of End Levels part is really easy. It's so easy. But there's fixed hitboxes. It's a UFO part, which means it's automatically a bad game mode, the worst game mode in the game. And yo, there was like a lot of random clicks, just RNG clicks in that part. And then obviously the next easiest part is the pre-drop, which I found to be a bit harder, mainly because of the ship. That's about it. Because honestly, the ships in this level are hard. It's definitely not just a wave level, it's a wave and ship level. You need to have insane ship control for this level. Now, since we're out of the easier parts, I reckon that now it's time to move on to the harder parts, which I'd call like the harder parts of the level. The next part that I'd recommend is Terran's part. Terran's part is really fun. It got super consistent, which was the day I beat it. That was the only time it really got super consistent. But you know, it's quite easy. It's definitely easy, but from 0, it's not. Oh, the next part I'd say is TrueOmega's part. That part got consistent only on the day I beat it. Aside from that, it's just mildly inconsistent. It's not that bad. Like, it definitely gets better over time, but it's still definitely one of the harder parts. And then now I think we have 4 parts left. These 4 parts are incredibly difficult. The next part I'd have to say that is hard is the part after Aim the Same, which, yeah, again, I don't know what blood made it. I don't know. The part's too dark. Z. There's a big Z. Maybe it's in here. I don't fucking know. Yo, that part, it's hard on its own and from 0. It's honestly a bit easier to do from 0 than in runs, because honestly the only things I really died to were the dash up clicks and then the release as the big wave. I don't know. I didn't die that much from 0. I think I died there less than 10 times, so I'm pretty happy with that. But most of my deaths, they were all 69%. It's a fun part. The hard part of it is obviously the wave. Not the other parts aren't hard. I died outside of the wave once, but that's because I was so absurdly nervous that I just died. I got nervous, lost track of what I was doing, and just clicked wrong. Now onto the top 3 most difficult part. So I think the 3rd easiest part is Thruster's part. So like, you'll be looking at it, be like, huh, this doesn't look too bad. You know, it's just a few clicks. And you get to the ship, and the ship isn't hard until later down the line, when after you hit the yellow gravity portal, that's when the ship becomes hard. And then those clicks are incredibly tight. It's hard to see. It's really hard to see what you're doing. You have insane nerves because this is the final step. This is the final step between the level. You'll just be nervous as hell. Yeah, I died here once, which was predicted. Like, it was obviously expected. Like, it's just happening. It's just, you're going to have to die here. That's possibly what's going to happen. But then he said that you only die there once, and then you beat it, which is true. So like, yo, W Levi. Then now the top 2, and the second hardest part is definitely Aim the Same. It actually was not this high, but on the day I beat it, I realized, wow, this part is really fucking hard. You get into the ship, there's some fixed hitboxes, so it's a really luck-based timing. You won't usually die there. But then afterwards, there's a gap that you have to do 1 click through. You have to hit a yellow orb and a green orb through fixed hitboxes. Then the mini wave is really easy. There's no, like, the mini wave is definitely the easiest part of Aim the Same. Then you get to the big wave, which is just a set of random RNG clicks and releases with fixed hitboxes that just kill you. They just kill you. It's really hard. And then afterwards is this UFO part, which I don't know how I didn't die here. I died here in runs all the time. The pink orbs are random. I do expect to die there. And then doing the big portal into the gravity portal transition as the big UFO, that also, like, that section's really hard, but I just never ended up dying to it. I don't know how. So I'm very happy with that. And then obviously the hardest part, which I just don't know the name of, is the part after Jaeger. There's a name. Deser. I don't know. Whoever that blood is, it's not way harder, but it's the hardest part. It includes the hardest ship part of the level, in my opinion. That ship is so hard. It doesn't sync to the music. I go 1, 2, 3, then slightly up 1, 2, 3. I can't see what I'm doing. You can't see. It's so hard to see. There's just glow everywhere. I just can't see. I personally wasn't able to look at where my icon was going. I just had to do it based off muscle memory and click patterns. That's literally what I did that based off. And then afterwards, you get this mini wave, which isn't that bad. The first 4 clicks aren't that bad, but on the 4th one, there's a saw that just makes the click so much tighter than it has to be. So on that 4 mini wave click, I'd slightly click upwards so that when I did the 4th click, I'd have more room and I'd be above the saw rather than right next to it, making the click less tight. And then afterwards, it's just 4 random clicks. It really isn't hard. Maybe I'm the only person who finds this part the hardest part, but for some reason, on the 4th click, I'd hold longer than the first 3, even though it felt like I was going like 1, 2, 3, 4. Apparently I was going like 1, 2, 3, 4 with like a bit more pizzazz on the 4th click, so I'd die there a lot. And then the click up onto the UFO is probably like a frame perfect. In some cases, I have to keep it a stack because the ground spikes are there, which makes the gap a whole bunch tighter. So yeah, and the UFO, it's the worst game mode in the game. It's RNG. There's no skill involved when you get to this UFO. You just need to do the click pattern and hope you don't mess up, because the issue with this UFO is that if you click something a frame off, every other click is going to be completely different, so it's just RNG. If you hit the red orb too early, everything's going to change for the next part. If you hit the red orb too late, everything's going to change for the next part. If you hit it in the middle, it's just different. It's different every single time. Then it's the same thing with the green orb afterwards. You don't know how you're going to hit it. It's kind of rad. And then the pink orbs, sometimes I'll just die because apparently I didn't click click the pink orb. So I'd also die to over-click. I'd end up clicking the pink orbs and hitting the top set of spikes and hitting the bottom set of spikes just based off how I thought I entered it, because you can't determine how you're going to enter it because it's different every time. So what I was doing first was just clicking 3 times, just hoping it worked. And then afterwards, I just tried to adjust, but adjusting killed me even more than it did originally. So when I was trying to beat it, I didn't go back to normal. I would just look and just be like, oh, okay, so my UFO looks like it's up there, bam, bam, bam. And then that usually works. But yeah, this level is 100% out of 10. Even though the balancing of this level is absolutely terrible, there is only 2 things that are bad, which is the UFO I was just talking about and in level. Those 2 parts are the only parts that got me genuinely upset at the level. Those were the only times I got mad. It would be when I died to a fixed hitbox, specifically the one in N level where there was like a green orb click at the UFO. You click it and then it's just random. It's so random. And then this is the UFO and deserts part, whatever that part I was just talking about. It's just like I struggled with the UFOs, even though the difficulty isn't based off the UFOs. I don't think the UFOs have any difficulty. It adds a luck factor to the level, and that's why I found those the most frustrating. But everything else is so skill-based and so fun to do. And but playing TrueOmega, you feel awesome when you're going through those tight gaps where you're just clicking, click, bada bing, bada boom, and you're just going through those tight gaps. It's awesome. I love it. This level's really fun. It is my favorite list demon I've beaten, which is my 3rd. It's my hardest. I think it is an amazing level, and it took me less attempts than Lucid Nightmares. I don't know how. This is definitely harder than Lucid Nightmares. Lucid Nightmares, this and Cognition are all on like the same kind of plane, but I'd say Crimson Planet's a bit closer to Thinking Space in terms of difficulty, in my opinion at least, rather than to Cognition. So I'd say that this level's a bit underrated, but that's about it. This is like the only list level I genuinely think is underrated, aside from Lucid Nightmares, which is just blatantly underrated. That's pretty much all I have to say. This level's really fun, and I highly recommend it for anyone to beat. If you're good at Wave, this level's probably going to be easy for you. I can't lie. I'm not good at Wave. I'm really bad at Wave. I made it a bit harder to beat. Anyway, catch you on the flip side.